One of my favorite pieces in my entire comic book collection is my Absolute WildC.A.T.s hardcover that was published by DC for Wildstorm's 25th anniversary about 5 years ago. As you can see, we have a new wraparound cover drawn by Jim Lee with Grifter, Voodoo, Maul. We've got Lord Imp or Jacob Marlowe up there. And then on the front of the box, we have Majestic, Zealot, Void, Savant, Spartan, and to the left we have Warblade in his original design. Looking at the book itself, it also has a wraparound cover that includes all of the original WildC.A.T.s team. However, this is art that was published around the formation of Image Comics. So this is actually of the era. You can see the hat that he's wearing there that says Homage Studios, which I believe was the original name of Jim Lee's imprint. This is honestly one of my favorite oversized editions that DC has ever put out because, you know, early Image was very art forward. It was very much more about the visuals than it was the storytelling. And so to that effect, they've actually hired Alex Sinclair to go back and digitally recolor a lot of the early issues. I think the first 5 actually that comprise the introductory arc for the team. We learn about the Daemonites, we learn about the Cherubim, and, you know, we sort of get a feel for everybody's powers, as well as other players behind the scene like John Lynch and Miles Craven. There's just page after page of beautiful team shot, and a lot of things that you would only see in the 90s, like these sort of sideways panels and 4-page pull-out spreads. As you'll also see as we go on, there's a fair amount of crossover between not only Mark Silvestri's Cyberforce title, but Rob Liefeld's Youngblood. These here are members of Youngblood. I believe that's Shaft in the bottom left. Over here with the skull on his face to the right is Chapel, and we got Badrock up above him. Once we get past the introductory arcs, this actually goes pretty deep into the early issues, covering the entire crossover between WildC.A.T.s and Cyberforce. Once again, this being the 90s, you can expect a great amount of excess. So we have a full 4-page spread of Zealot fighting. There's honestly been a great deal of work put into preserving... Sorry, I'm having camera issues. Put into preserving these original comics, and while some people were pretty mixed in the comics on TikTok, in the comments on TikTok, you know, DC has done a lot to keep these comics in publication in a very sort of pristine and beautiful manner. So I do appreciate that the effort that they've put in there. There we have all of Cyberforce meeting. Once we get past the introductory arcs, I believe it does go up to the Chris Claremont run, which is called A Gathering of Eagles. And then towards the back, we get into WildC.A.T.s number 50, which would have been the end of Volume 1. That begins with this double-page spread here. As you can see, some of the characters' outfits have already gone through some changes, but Jim Lee is still firing on all cylinders. This is during the point when James Robinson was writing the title. So this is just a really cool collection. It was well worth the $120 that I paid for at full retail. And honestly, it's out of print now, so it's become kind of a rare book, which is one reason why I thought it might be cool to show it off to some comic book fans out there. What do you think of the WildC.A.T.s? Let me know in the comments, and if you have any thoughts about those early days when they were at Image Comics.